How's it going, everyone? Jesus here, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. Honestly, Anchor is a very enjoyable platform to be on, listen on, and just a joy to be a part of this community. Anchor, come check us out.
And welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to bring you another television review. Television review? When the fuck did I say television review? Anyways, another series review. There we go. This time around, we're going to be talking about the Netflix series Arcane. Arcane is the 2021 adult animated show based on the League of Legends universe. And it's a way the company decided to celebrate 10 years of League of Legends. And for the most part, for anyone who doesn't know what League of Legends is, it's a MOBA style, one of the first few MOBA style games that came out 10 years ago. It's been very popularized, and since its inception to this point, there has been hundreds of champions or heroes that have been added, and it's finally time that the world that these characters exist in have now been accumulated into a television show known as Arcane. We're going to be talking about season 1 of Arcane, basically, and what's interesting is I'm glad that they're going to be working on more, because it's one of those things that this show did a fantastic job with. Its kind of like cliffhangers, its character development, its story points, its story plot, and one of those things where, since there's so many different characters, there is no real shoe-in characters or anything to force people to say, "Oh, I know that character. Oh, I know that character." Myself, I am not a major League of Legends player. I've played years ago, but for the most part, League of Legends lore is not something I ever delved into. I know some of it, but nothing too much to the point where I'm excited to see certain things. But here's the fun thing about Arcane is you don't need to know anything about League of Legends for the most part. It's great to know because there's a lot of fun Easter eggs and the like on there, kind of like how the Marvel series does their Easter eggs and everything. Oh yeah, I know that little thing. So there is that, but the show does not require you to have any prior League of Legends knowledge, and they do a fantastic job with this 9-episode series. The way I watched this, so most people, this was a show that they released every week, and Netflix has been doing this more recently with certain shows, and it's intriguing, but for me it's always been that thing where Netflix has always just dumped all their episodes and just binged them, and the show is a reasonably good binge watch from beginning to end. But I feel that the way I watched it in 3 episode gaps. So I watched the first 3 episodes, then episode 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9. I feel that in itself is a good way to watch it, in my opinion, because it's a good way to do this in 3 acts, and that's how I feel did a very good job with this show's like overall plot throughout the entire series. It's one of those things where there's a lot of characters, but no character goes unnoticed, because we're following 2 main characters for the most part. There are some more like main characters, but we're following the characters of Violet, or Vi, and her younger sister Powder, later known as Jinx. 2 young orphans from the underground, being raised by a pseudo dad in the slums, basically, while in Topside, where all the kind of aristocratic, the scholarly, basically the aristocratic, more abundant society realms. And what's great about this is like the city also tells its story, and so the city also plays, because like I said, there's more characters than along the line, like the character of the villain, Silco, who, for anyone who would like to know, is not an actual like League character. He was a brand new character added to the series, and that's like, you get a new villain, and what a fantastic villain. Because for the most part, when it comes to the antagonist of a show or a film, like, there can be very good ones, there can be really bad ones, and depending how the show or the film portrays them, it can lead to a satisfying ending, or an interesting overall plot, or just a very sad like flop. And I will say that the antagonist of Silco does a fantastic job. Like, for the most part, you hate him, you love to hate him. The things that this show does to bring him up as an actual villain, the antagonist, while you're following the characters of V and Jinx. Then there are like who else are there? Some of the other main characters are Jace, the scientist who is working on the Hex Tech, Caitlyn, who is friends with Jace, and then later along the line becomes a little bit more of an integral character, and you start to get more from there. Victor, who becomes a partner with Jace with the Hex Tech, and there's just so much. The way this show blends a lot of the politics and a lot of the action sequences, fights, it's very intriguing and very enjoyable. One of the few things that, in my opinion, is some of the songs they chose, some of the score. It might not be for everyone. There's like a few sequences where they have like songs or music playing, and it works in some sense, but at sometimes it's like, alright, so that's what I get. But the show itself, like, you can kind of just wave it off for the most part, because some of the action sequences that those are made for are fantastic. Like, shot for shot, they are great. And like, it's hard to really just like note any real like negatives. Like I said, the music itself, it's all per person. Like, if you don't like that style of music, it might not be your taste, but it's like it sort of worked for me. But it could have been something else. But the rest, story, fantastic. The art style was amazing. The plots, the individual plots, the character developments were like masterful, and they have a lot of lore to work with, and like, there's a lot. So having them kind of tell the tale of these kind of certain characters worked well, not just bombarding you with a bunch and actually building a cohesive story, because now we're building the world and setting up more for future, since there'll be more with how this season like cliffhangered, and it's like, oh my god, there's so much. But yeah, it was just much fun of a show. There's things I could go into spoilers and stuff, but I think I might do that with someone else who has a little bit more League of Legends lore, and I think it's best to discuss this with other individuals. But for the most part, I'm going to give you my rating, and maybe there'll be an after credits. If there is one, then stay tuned. If not, then there's going to be it. So I'm going to give season 1 of Arcane a solid 10 out of 10. Like I said, there are a few mistakes, but those are all for personal preferences. But as far as the show is concerned, like I said, great plot, great character development, like wonderful set pieces. Like the art style is fantastic for this world. There's almost really no nothing like too extensive. Like I said, there I'll have more to say, but season 1 for sure hit it right out of the park. I look forward to what's season 2 and maybe more. I like this, Netflix, they better do it. On top of that, it was one of those things that I thought it was going to be more child oriented, but man, they do not hold back when it comes to the blood, the violence. You get some ass beatings around here. But yeah, if there is enough to credits, stay tuned. If not, yeah. So solid 10 out of 10. Let's look forward to season 2 when it comes out. It's currently, as far as the announcement, it's currently in production. So we'll see what that means, but hopefully we'll get it in the next year or two, for sure. And I hope for more than 9 episodes, but I think the 9 episode thing worked. Let me know what you guys thought about Arcane. And like always, you can always follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at Tyrant Dominus. And then, yeah. So, until next time, see ya.